Hey, you guys, so I'm super excited to talk to you about GoDocSign's new RON program. It's a remote online notarizations. Now, if you're a notary, you're probably hearing all the buzz around remote online notarizations. And there's a lot of things to unpack in this video. But one of the things that's really cool about what GoDocSign is doing is that they're not, creating this to, put you in a position where you're the employee, but our software is designed to make you the business owner. And a lot of applications out there on the market basically are charging outrageously high fees just to join their platform. And on top of that, there's transaction fees for every single document that is notarized and or seals that are requested. So it makes it very hard for you to make money using those remote online notarization tools. So we kind of wanted to do something outside of the box and thinking about those who are our users and think, how can we help you grow your business, scale your business? So we'll go into the deep dive in other videos and talk about all the different pre-built landing pages and pre-built emails that you can use to create your online business with RON software that we offer without having to pay crazy fees. You literally can just pay one fee for a lifetime account or do a monthly fee if you wanted to go unlimited, but not pay per document, not pay per seal. It's just a one-time payment, and you have unlimited access to do all the remote online notarizations that you want to do. But without further ado, we're going to show you the platform, how it works step by step. And the best part about this is it puts you in control as a business owner. There's a lot of platforms out there that want to only pay notaries who are doing remote online notarizations $5 for 500 to 1,000 transactions. Then maybe they'll bump them up to a higher percentage. But if you're doing all the work, you should be making the larger percentage of those deals, right? So our application allows you to bring your own business. We give you Google ad ready targeting, keyword, and templates for you to be able to bring in new business with that pre-built landing page, and where you can not be getting $5, but you can be making $25 on up to basically do what you're doing anyways, which is all the business and the work, right? So we're excited about that. Now, let me dive in and show you how our remote online notarization platform works step by step, from sending the document request down to both users, what they're looking at as far as the sender and the signer. So let's dive in without further ado and take a look at it. So one thing you're going to want to do right here is first you want to upload your stamp if you're a notary, right? And so let's just say that's already been completed because we already did that for you in another video in training, but we're going to dive in today and look at signed document. So the first thing you want to do signed document is sign and send. Now, we're going to select HTML template, but we can do PDMF, but just for this demonstration, we're going to do the HTML version. Now, if you need to add a witness, you can just add their name right there, and it'll automatically generate their information, and you can send it. But in this particular video, we're not going to do that, so we won't select witness. We're just going to add a signer. Okay, so signer. And the cool part about this is that you can just type in a few characters and you can pull the information of the person's name that you need to add into this document, and you can pull all their information literally in seconds into the account. So there's no searching and typing and doing a lot of manual work. It's pretty much all done for you. It makes it very easy. Now, also, if you look at signer's name, there's no need for you to type their name or anything into the document. We have everything pre-built for you. Now, if you need to add certain things, of course, you can add this into the document at any time just by clicking it and typing it in. But we wanted to really make this as easy as possible and as efficient as possible for you to be able to take less time out of your day and make more money by doing remote online notarizations by having these pre-built templates. Now, you're going to, in some cases, have users who are customers who are going to send you their documents for you to set up and sign. So obviously that's part of it, but with our smart tags right here that you can see, you can add their information very easily to save you time. So without further ado, if you're looking at this from a perspective of a power of attorney, there's pretty much certain things that are just standard in power of attorney, which everything has been added here. So if there was nothing else for you to add, all you'd have to do is select a signer. And so obviously you're not going to sign it, So you'd select the signer right here, and that would be it. So now this would actually be ready for you to go ahead and send out to collect signatures using the RON. So that's very powerful because everything's pre-built for you. So we're going to go ahead and send this to get signed. And the title of the document can be anything that you want to. So it's really up to you. We're just going to put POA Ron, which for demonstrations, but that's power of attorney. Okay, so we'll do the same thing over here. And we'll just save that there. Now you'll notice that you can do payment links, which we talked about in other videos, or enable suggestions, but because we're not actually looking to do any of that today, we're just going to show you the remote online notarization, okay? Now, this is for notaries, but if you are a business owner, in another video, we'll show you how you can use it in your marketing efforts. The only thing that would change is you wouldn't basically do, a notary stamp, you use our GoDocSign stamp. So we're going to send this now to get notarization. Now, typically this will take maybe 30 seconds to a minute, minute and a half, because it's generating this request. It's sending an email out to the signer and also preparing all the documents to be created. So now you can see it says document sign request has been sent successfully. So it gives you the option, do you want to start a live session or do you want to go ahead and wait and do a different session later? So we're going to go ahead and start the live session. And you're going to show up in the video right here. You're going to, hey guys, so now you're going to be able to see yourself, get ready. Is there anything that you need as far as background lighting? Is the visual clear? You're testing your headphones, everything is perfectly fine. So if you look up here to this side up here, you're going to see notary help. Now the notary help, it's very handy because if you're new to Ron, you probably have a lot of questions on what do I say? How do I talk to a signer? What is there anything particular that I need to say to them that that's different from a notary? And so we have all of those things right here that you can look at, and if you have questions, now you can do this during the call because you want to go over something with them that maybe you forgot to do. Or you can use this because this information also is in your Ron notary journal. So you can basically study later on before the call, right? But this is handy because if you forgot the last part before completing and you said, you know what, let me double check that and see what was the last part. What should I say last to close this transaction? You could go through this step by step on every call just to sound very professional, systematic in what you're saying, and so it can be more easy for you and natural. So you could use this, hello, my name is, I'm a notary, I am commissioned Ron online notary in the state of, and it walks you through the entire process. So this will help you out to kind of get familiar step by step what you would say as a remote online notary, and we're excited to give you the tools to make this easier. So let's take a dive and see what the person who is going to be actually signing is going to be getting in their request. So let's jump into that portion of it and take a look. So now this is what the signer is going to receive. They're going to get an email that lets them know that they have a request to join live. And it's all password protected, HIPAA compliant, and the highest security that there is. So what they would do is basically copy the password. And they're going to go ahead and click here to log in and validate their password. Now, once they do that, they're going to go directly into the session and you're going to get to see them face to face, talk a little bit, and kind of see who you're talking to, obviously, get to know them, and then you can go through the next step, which we'll show you in this part of the video. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and save that and how you're going to share the screen. Now, obviously, this is me showing you as a demo, but it shows the sender and me, which is basically the signer, in this process. So what we'll do right here is jump back in and show you what the process is going to look like as the notary, and then how that process starts back and forth. So we'll dive in and see this live. So now as a notary, as soon as they sign in, you're going to see the person, you're going to get to talk to them, and you're going to see right here, send verification invite. So once you send this invitation invite, they're going to get notified so that they can upload the required documents, which is a driver's license from the state, a passport, or a different ID, state ID, which is going to be processed through a technology that automatically verifies if this ID is valid. Okay, so we'll go ahead and send this process and see how it looks from the signer's side. So now from the signer side, this is what they're going to see. They need to verify their identity by uploading an ID. So this can be from a state ID, a driver's license, or a passport. Now, this is automatically verified through a technology that's verifying, is this ID real? So you don't have to physically do anything in that regards. We will show you from the notary's perspective, which is standard. Once this ID is verified and processed, you will have to do a visual just to make sure that the ID that was verified actually matches the person who you're looking at and talking to. Okay, so let's dive into that process and go ahead and do the upload and then see how this works. So once this has been processed and they submit it, they're going to get a notification that it's been uploaded successfully. Now, if it doesn't process and it doesn't, show that it's a valid ID or there's an issue, they will get a further notification. But let's dive in now and take a look at what the notary is going to look at from their side of this as well. So now from the notary side of the ID process, it shows us right here that this has been verified, that everything is fine, but it still requires the notary to do a visual inspection of the ID to make sure that the person that they're talking to is actually the ID that was verified, which is possible. Somebody could upload a legitimate ID, but it might not be the same person that you're talking to. So this is the last step as a notary for you to be able to do a visual comparison of the ID that was verified and approved versus the person who you're actually looking at and talking to. So we'll go ahead and select OK. And you can just click right here to view the document, and you can view the document and verify it. So after that process has been done, you can go ahead and send the invite because everything has been approved and you've done the last step as far as the visual verification as well. So once you do the invite, let's take a look at what the signer is going to be looking at next. Now, from the signer's perspective, they're going to get a notification that says, good job, congratulations, verification is done. Please do sign now. Okay, so they can now do that process. So everywhere that they are required to fill out or sign is going to be in red, which is like right here, the date. And we'll do the date here. Okay. And their signature. Now, their signature can be written. It can be typed in the different fonts. Okay. Or it could be uploaded. Now, depending on the process that is required, this is optional. Sometimes there is a process where they have to physically write their name and then upload it to the system to be able to be verified. Different states have different laws, but we're just going to go ahead and do the typing one. And this is going to be demo signer. And once this is done, the next process that they're going to do is just send signature. Okay. Now the same process is when you're sending this to the signer, there's maybe a 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute. There's a little bit of a delay because it's processing all this technology and relaying everything back and forth, which we can see right here that everything was done successfully. So what do we see as a notary next? Let's take a look at that. So from the notary's perspective now, they're seeing the message that says, good job, user successfully signed document. So, okay. Now, you have to be careful not to finish the process right now because you still haven't added your notary stamp. Okay, so this is the difference if you have an account as a notary versus an account as a digital marketing company, a business owner, which wants to have contracts signed live, which you can do face to face. You just wouldn't have a notary seal. which is the main difference. Okay, so you still have everything else as far as technology recorded in a file, but it wouldn't have the notary seal. It would have a GoDocSign seal. So as you can see when you click on this, if it's a notary, it would have the notary from their particular state. So for demonstration purposes, we are going to do the Ron verified GoDocSign seal. And please make sure that your seals are 200 by 200 so they can properly display. So now this is complete. So we're going to go ahead and finish the process now. And it has the same process. It could be 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. And as it's processing on your end, it's also going to notify the signer on their end. So we're going to click finish now. So let's take a look at what the signer is going to be looking at while you are finishing this process. And obviously, you're going to be talking to them, letting them know the same thing that we're talking about. Just to please hold on, that you're going to finish the process and they'll get a notification. So let's go ahead and take a look now and see what they're going to look at as well. So now from the signer's side, they're going to get a notification that says, good job, process, finish. Please wait while we're saving the recording. So as soon as this is done, they're going to get redirected to the GoDocSign website, and the notary is going to be redirected to their document tab, where normally their documents are stored, but they'll be able to look at their notary journal and have all the details as far as ID verification, what documents were signed, the visual and audio recordings, which are there for 10 years for you to be able to verify if you need them ever, or it's just really the standard that is required in remote online notarization. Now, this process could take, again, processing the video recording, just a little bit longer than, sending, signing, but typically it runs from 30 seconds to a minute and a half. It can vary. But this is basically the process of doing a remote online notarization using GoDocSign. Very easy to do, very straightforward. Using our pre-built templates makes it a lot easier if you're doing a lot of documents that are standard in the RON industry. We have most of those documents. Now, if your user does send you a document that you need to upload, and obviously you might not do it through the HTML process, you can still do it through the PDF process. So now the signer is going to get this message that the recording has successfully saved. Thanks for joining this session. And then they will be redirected as soon as they click this. And you're talking to them in this process to let them know what's going to happen and the email that they're going to get with the documents, which we'll take a look at now as well. So now the signer is going to get another email where they're going to be able to click right here and download all the documents that they just signed with the notarization, so they can go ahead and print them out. Now there's huge advantages when you're doing RON. Number one, the time to be able to be in multiple places without traveling, so you're saving on gas and time, which right now with the gas prices, that's a huge plus, right? But even if you are a remote notary, right, and you're not doing it 100% online, you're still going to save even on the printing, because now you're not printing these documents. You're meeting up with them, they're signing, and they're getting these sent to them via their email. So they have to print them, they have to do that process. So it saves you money as well there and time, because everything's a lot faster when you're doing it online like this. So they would just click on their documents, print them, and that's complete. But let's take a look at what you're going to be seeing as soon as this transaction is done as well as a remote online notary. So as a remote online notary, we've seen what the signer sees as far as them getting redirected to the homepage, the email that they're going to get with the documents. Now, as a notary, you're going to get this information right here as well. It says, good job, thanks, all is done. So now you're pretty much ready to move on to your next remote online notarization. Now you will be redirected to take a look at your documents list right here, which is standard documents, but you're going to want to go to the notary journal, where you're going to be able to see, download the proof of, verification, which is secure, and also the video and audio. or the document itself. If any of those things you ever need, you have them at a click of a button. So that's pretty much it for using the remote online notarization as a notary. It's very easy to do. In the next videos, we'll walk you through how to set up your marketing campaigns, how to use our pre-built landing pages, and all the benefits of working with GoDocSign as far as being a remote online notary. And we hope you enjoy the video, and we'll see you in the next video training.